Hello everyone, StarlightsMan here with a new video. Today coming at you with the JFK model airport update. So I haven't done this airport as of yet, so that is because I'm missing a variety of international carriers as well as American Airlines heavies and Delta Airlines heavies. So it's not exactly the ideal airport for me to do. However, LAX is probably a little bit better for me. However, in terms of design and spacing, the airport didn't turn out too bad. I mean, I could have done a little better. There are some areas where I just had to improvise in terms of spacing, where it just got a bit too cramped and it was just going to be realistic. So this is basically the most realistic design I could think of. So it starts off over there at Terminal 8, goes through here to Terminal 1. So basically JFK Airport is shaped like a big circle like this. And where these terminals are starting off, the biggest number is at 8, goes down over here, then 1's over here, so it just circles back. Now, a lot of American airports, I'm just going to say American, but in general, a lot of airports have this design where they just have this huge circle, and inside the circle is where people come in, and then there's a drop-off pickup, and then there's just a huge parking lot in the middle, or whatever there may be. So because I don't have all that infrastructure to include in the circle, nor do I really have the spacing to do that, I've had to come up with the best design really that I could think of. And this is basically how it turned out. So we have two runways operating right now, one over there, one there. Now with the JFK airport, there is two runways operating on the side here. As you can see, I really don't have the space for that. It just gets a bit too cramped over here, so this is the best I could do with it. But yeah, I think the airport turned out fine. I will be continuing on to do more requests. This was one by Dutch Airport Spotter, I believe. So yeah, let's start off with the update. Starting off with terminals, I believe, I've kind of forgotten the terminal name, like which terminals belong to which airlines. Whatever this terminal is, where British Airways parks at. We're going to be starting off with British Airways, the 744 with a service to London Heathrow. Iberia A340-600, they currently operate the A330s on the Madrid route. I would say in the summer, Iberia will come back with an A340-600, but I've had this Iberia aircraft forever, and they just seem to be using A330s constantly on the American flights, and I just think that in the summer is really when the A346 starts to kick in which case that'll be a bit more of a realistic aircraft, but I had to include my only Iberia aircraft. Moving on with T5, this is the Hawaiian A330 with a service to Honolulu. We have 5 JetBlue aircraft over here. It's not 5, but not too bad of JetBlue collection. Our 5th one's over here landing right now, so not bad of a JetBlue collection. Starting off, we have the A320 with a non-stop service to New Orleans. That's in the FDNY special livery. We have a standard A320 with a service to Orlando. Next to him, a I Heart New York A320 with a service to Chicago, and the A321 with Sharklets doing a non-stop service to Los Angeles. And then the A320 landing over here came in on a flight from, let's go with Dallas. And over here we have the ANA 777-300ER, this aircraft just lining up, and will be on a flight to Tokyo Haneda. I want to say that's Haneda, whatever. Moving on with the Etihad 777-300ER. So as you can see, actually before I go on with that, so the circle, like I said, would go around like this. So I've had to just do a straight line and just have some connection to all these terminals. Now, I believe that's Terminal 8, at the back over there. Terminal 8 is all, part of Terminal 8 is on its own, so that's what I've done there, and then the rest of Terminal 8 is over here, which then combines with this terminal, and then I've had to continue with this kind of connecting way where I can get all these terminals connected. So then I've included this wooden part, or terminal, just here to connect these two terminals with this one here, and then I can get a combination of the Delta terminal with the international terminal, and I'm going to call it the international terminal, aka Terminal 2, or 3, which one it is. Get the combination of the Delta aircraft along with these international aircraft. Then moving on here, I have the Virgin America terminal along with Terminal 5. So, yeah, I mean, it just gets a little bit awkward, but overall, this is really the best I could do. And then I'll move on with Terminal 1 and how that works. So moving on, we have I was just there, Etihad 333 with a service to Abu Dhabi, the Virgin America A319 with a service to Chicago. We have a Delta 757-200 SkyTeam. This aircraft doing a flight to, I want to say, an international destination. Delta 757-200. And this aircraft, we'll just say we'll be doing a flight over to LAX. Moving on, we have the Air China 333 Smiling China with a service to, this aircraft just came in from Beijing. KLM 789, currently they don't operate this yet either, so I'm a little bit ahead, but didn't decide to get an A330 since it was in the old livery with an anniversary on it, and that aircraft won't be used all the time compared to the 789, so hopefully 789 starts kicking in. I know that its next route will be to San Francisco, so hopefully I can include it in that airport update, but as for JFK, the 789 hasn't arrived yet, but I would almost guarantee that the 789 will maybe do a flight to some airport on the East Coast. At the moment, they're just using A330s and 772s, so I'm not exactly sure when it's gonna kick in, if it does. But yeah, I'm just gonna include it in this aircraft and this update. Sorry, since it's my only KLM aircraft. Moving on, we have the Singapore Airlines A380 doing a flight to Singapore via Frankfurt. Here we have the Emirates A380 with a service to Dubai, Swiss A330-300. This aircraft doing a flight to Zurich, and I'll just move over here to get the rest of these deltas. Moving on, we have the, what should we start off with? MD-88. This aircraft with a non-stop service to Atlanta, and then the 738 with a service to Salt Lake City. 739, non-stop service to Detroit. We have a CRJ-900 with a service to O'Hare, and then a 717 with a service to Atlanta as well. So moving on with Terminal 1. Now, Terminal 1 has a variety of carriers, and what I've decided to do with them is, I'll also have to explain these buildings here as well. As for Terminal 1, I did not really have any options to include them as part of this terminal complex that is over here. So the only solution I could think of, which is why you're seeing this little thing here, and then I've got another one over there, as you can see. What the plan was, which I wasn't able to complete in time, but what the plan was to have this kind of walkway that goes over here and connects the terminals together. But clearly that did not end up being the case. And basically just having a SkyTrain that would connect all these terminals together. And I just didn't really have any materials to build that. I do plan to have this as a future concept for other airports that have a similar design or just need this kind of SkyTrain there. If I do get something that will be able to be sustainable for that position, I guess, something that can make it look as if a SkyTrain can be on it, then I will start including it on most of my airports. I just think it would be a cool thing to do. So, yeah, it's just something to look out for. As for Terminal 1, however, this would just be like the introduction, this is like an area where people would come in, and then they would check in here, and then if they needed to go to somewhere else besides Terminal 1, they would go over to those terminals. I'm not sure if I would have this as like the main gateway to the entire airport, but maybe it would be one of the entrances, or maybe it would only be Terminal 1. I'm not sure yet. But this is the best I could do with it. And as you can see, I'm using one of the airport terminal sets for that. Moving on, we have the Air France A380 with a service to Charles de Gaulle, Lufthansa 748 with a service to Frankfurt and the retro livery, and a JAL 777-300ER with a service to Tokyo and Narita. We have the EVA Air 333 in the Star Alliance livery with a service to Taipei, and a Lufthansa A330-300 with a service to Munich. So, second part, which is just, I decided to put these buildings here in this little area because I just had this chunk of space. So, these buildings are, if they look like buildings, it is a concept that I plan to put onto future airports of mine to make it a little bit more realistic outside of the airport. So basically what this would be is several hotels just laying around. Let's say this is a Marriott, this is a Hyatt, this is a Hilton, just an example, and then we just place, say, 5, 6 hotels. And these are just these little buildings, and I just think that these building sizes are most likely the most accurate for airport hotels, you know, in 1/400 scale. Really, just what I think would fit the size. And as you can see, they're not the roofs aren't exactly glued on yet. But what I would do is I would attach those roofs, make sure it make sure it looks as crisp and as smooth as possible, and just make it make the building look, you know, stiff, I guess, firm. And then after that, probably decorate the roof with maybe a few of them having pools, and then obviously the main part of it would have windows, like an office window, just tons of them just glued on there, and then I would have a Hyatt logo, a Marriott logo, etc. to just stick on there. So that's the plan for these little buildings over here. And then over here, for the bigger ones, maybe this is too big, I think it's the right size. for like cargo offices or just airline offices that are just based here, where several airlines or cargo services would just work in, like logistics or something. So yeah, it's just the plan for these buildings. It's just a brand new concept, just put together little pieces of paper and just, well, kind of looks like a building. Maybe we can include a few of them and just make the outside of the airport a little bit more realistic. You never know. Moving on with this part of the airport, we have the second operating runway, where we have the Turkish Airlines A330-200. I believe it's operated by the Dash 300, which I don't have, but anyways, it's Turkish A330. We'll be doing a flight to Istanbul. Moving on, we have the Delta E-170 with a non-stop service to, I was going to say Atlanta, but at this point, let's just go with Atlanta for the E-170. Moving on, we have the American 738 with a service to Dallas, and the LOT 787-8 with a non-stop service to Warsaw. Moving on, we have the American Airlines terminal connected with this one over here. So this one's separate in the actual JFK airport. That's one part of the airport that is realistic. But anyways, we have all these domestic aircraft. This is also including Alaska Airlines operations. So yeah, first starting off with the American Eagle E-170. This aircraft, we'll be doing a non-stop service to Nashville. We have a 737-800. Doing a service to, let's go with, yeah, probably another Dallas service, and those. 757-200 with a service to Miami. A321 with a service to Charlotte. A Alaska 738. Let me just move over there. So hopefully this is a bit of a better view. Anyways, we have the Alaska 738 with a service to Seattle. U.S. Airways A321 still in the U.S. Airways colors with a service to Phoenix. 737-800 with a service to San Juan. And a 737-800 with a service to Las Vegas. So that's going to wrap up this part of the update, guys. I'll be continuing on that side to give you guys the rest. Alright, so now I'll be continuing on this side of the airport. Just get that in focus first. I have the Cathay Pacific 777-300ER in the Spirit of Hong Kong livery with a service to Hong Kong, and a Qantas 747-400 in the One World livery with a service to Sydney via LAX. Moving on, we have the UPS 763 taxiing to its stand. This aircraft came in from Louisville. I have the 737-800 here. This aircraft just came in, let me focus, just came in from O'Hare. Here we have the Atlas Air 747-8F taxiing to the runway. This aircraft will be departing off to Cincinnati. Moving on with a few of the Aaa Regionals. We have an American, there we go, E-145. This aircraft just coming in from Buffalo. We have a CRJ 700. This aircraft doing a flight to Washington Dulles. A E-1, not an E-170, E-145. This aircraft doing a flight to DCA. Over here we have the American A321 with Sharklets. I just decided to include this aircraft here since I saw on the map that the regionals seem to park on this side of this lonely, kind of terminal out here. And then the rest of it, I would assume, would just be parking with narrow bodies. So I just decided to include this A321 here, obviously doing the LAX route. Moving on with a few of the internationals. These are all One World carriers, and obviously the American Airlines wide bodies. Not sure exactly which terminal they depart out of, but I just decided to use this one. Anyways, we have a Fedex 757-200, this aircraft coming in from Memphis. And then moving on with these internationals, we have a Qatar 333 One World livery, doing a non-stop service to Doha. We have a Finnair A330-300 with a service to Helsinki. American 777-200ER in the One World livery, doing a service to London Heathrow. And American 222, this aircraft just coming in from Barcelona. And a Air Berlin A330-200 with a service to Berlin. So moving on with the cargo terminal. This is a substantial cargo terminal, almost as big as O'Hare's, including tons of, a range of cargo airlines and aircraft. So moving on, we have the FedEx MD-11 lining up, getting ready for a flight to Memphis. The Lufthansa Cargo 777F with a service to Frankfurt. Korean Air Cargo 748F, this aircraft doing a flight to, let's say, Atlanta, Georgia for a continuation flight. Actually, Edmonton. I think that's where the Korean Air Cargo flight continues on from after it's arrived from Anchorage. China Airlines Cargo 744F with a service to Anchorage with a continuation flight to Taipei. UPS 747-400 with a service to Louisville. And another Louisville-bound MD-11 of UPS. And then next to that, the Cathay Pacific Cargo 748F with a service to Anchorage and continuing on to Hong Kong. So, that's about it for the JFK airport, guys. It's a very big airport, really. Took up every inch of space. I could have included a little bit more, but this is really the best I could do. Overall, I do like the airport. I do like JFK. I just think it's not exactly meant for me. You know, it's just, I don't know, I just have my current airports. You know, I have San Francisco, O'Hare, Dallas, and the Hawaiian airports, and then I'm doing these requests on the side. So, you know, that's just how it works. And thank you very much, man, for the request. And if anyone else would like to do any requests, just leave a comment in any one of my videos, and I'll be sure to get back to you. As for requests, just take a look at my other videos, and just hopefully you'll get a hint, or even just in this video, getting a hint of really what aircraft I have and just what would work in your request. So thanks very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more, and follow me on Instagram for the latest. See you guys in the next video. Bye.